What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Heavyweight Nation podcast. And keeping up with the trend, we got to get another Wisconsin guy on. You know, I feel like we do one Wisconsin video a week, and we're building a great relationship with those guys out there. But this time, another very special guest, one of the Wisconsin superstars. We got 2023 Mexico World Team member, Austin Gomez. Austin, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. You know, when you talk about Wisconsin wrestling, you got to mention Austin Gomez. You know, you've kind of built yourself as a staple in Wisconsin. And, you know, obviously this year wasn't exactly how you thought it would go. So we'll kind of just hop right into this year at NCAAs and kind of talk about some of the things you were battling.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the last month and a half, 2 months of the season was pretty rough. Just was dealing with an injury that kept me sidelined all of February. And, I thought I was ready to go, and it just turns out I wasn't ready to go. Just couldn't get kind of back in my rhythm after missing 3 weeks of practice, 4 weeks of practice. So it was really tough.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, obviously you had some really big wins this year. You know, you were able to get a win over Yanni during the season. And, you know, obviously that had to be pretty big for you. And, you know, being that he was kind of the top dog at that weight class. So, you know, had some very successful wins, but, you know, obviously it sucks to see what happened to you and, you know, unfortunate circumstances, but you were able to overcome it. You go out to go out and represent your country for another year. Talk a little bit about what that journey has been like for you over the past couple of years and being able to wrestle for, you know, your home country.
Yeah, I mean, it's really special. You know, it's something I've always wanted to do. And, we kind of just got the ball rolling this kind of last year because the Olympics are coming up, and, let's go to the 2024 Olympics. And that's really important. It's always been a goal of mine to be an Olympic champ. It's been a great journey. Right after the national tournament, me and Chris Bono flew down to Oaxaca, Mexico. And that's the last thing I wanted to do after the national tournament. We were just sitting down on Monday, and my vibes were just kind of low just because, I didn't get what I wanted at the national tournament. And he's like, "What's wrong?" And I was just like, "I don't want to go to this tournament. Like, it's the last thing I want to do. Like, I do not want to go." Like, my body was sore. It's just, I mentally just wasn't there. And he's like, "Don't say that because then I won't end up wanting to go." And I was like, "No, once we leave and we get down there, I'll be perfectly fine." So, yeah, I mean, it was just a good thing to, just right after when I was there, I put the nationals behind me. That's in the past. I'm not going to dwell on the past. I'm just going to use it to fuel me and fuel that fire inside of myself and, go get the next best thing. And, that's to go make a world team. And, we got heading down and I leave for Argentina Saturday night to go wrestle at the Pan Am. So now the next goal is to go win the Pan Ams.
100%, man. And I feel like you just keep going, injuries aside, you just have kept pushing on. And I think it's awesome to see, you striving to, at the end of the day, you're striving to win the Olympics. A lot of these guys are, worried about nationals, but it was awesome to see that you mentally could just kind of push that aside and you went out there and you won the Mexico team trials. And, talk a little bit about, how you think, in your opinion, that kind of differs a little bit for what we do here in the United States.
I think, the United States, the way to qualify for world team is a grind. You got all the best guys in the country and, you got some of the best guys in the world competing all in one tournament, so it's a grind and, I'm kind of happy that I'm out of that grind. I don't have to beat my body up at a wrestle 5, 6, 7 matches, just go make a world team. And once you go win the US Open, all right, now you got to go to Final X and wrestle another best 2 out of 3. It's a little crazy how they do it. I think it's just a moneymaker for USA Wrestling, and there's nothing wrong with that for them to make some money. But, it's a grind. And, I'm just, when they're out there beating the crap out of each other, I'm going to be sitting back, getting ready for the Pan Ams to go represent Mexico.
100%, man.
That's
and
awesome, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely awesome to see that, you've had that experience and you kind of get to kind of kick your feet up and kind of watch the competition kind of form.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be awesome for you. And what are some things you're looking forward to, man? We know you got a little bit of college wrestling left. So next season for you is, I'm sure, going to be a big deal for you. Is next season your last? Or do you have another year after that?
No, yeah, next season is my last season. Thank goodness. College wrestling's a grind. So,
Yeah,
I've
and
been
your
in it. This
journey has
can
been
be,
crazy. Your journey has been absolutely just nuts.
yeah, college wrestling's a grind, and it's going to be nice to kind of just, hopefully end on top. I think my time's coming, and I know the field at 149, and I've gotten wins over almost everybody, the top guys in the weight class. I think the only loss I have while being healthy is to Panero Johnson. Really in that entire weight class. So I've beaten Sammy Sasso, I've beaten Rich Lovett. I've had a bad match against Parko. I've beaten all these top guys. I've beaten Shane Van Ness. Like, you name them, I've beaten them. So, it's just got to go out there and just stay healthy. And, if I'm healthy, I'm a really hard guy to beat.
100%, 100%. And I think you're going to be a lot of people's top pick next season, man. I think, you're going to be that guy. And hopefully next year we could get you on the podcast in the off season and we'll be able to introduce you as 2024 national champ Austin Gomez. I think it flows off the tongue a little bit better, I think.
It does. Oh yeah, it does. I'm excited for it. An All-American, being another All-American, it sounds good, but I think being a national champ sounds better. So, it's always been the goal of mine since I've been a little kid, so,
Absolutely.
if I don't get the job done, it's going to be kind of a disappointment and let myself down a little bit. But, I'm going to do everything that I can, socially, training wise, to, put myself in that position to go win a national title next year.
100%, man. I think, and I think your mentality is super strong. You've had probably some of the worst injuries you could get, like with the whole concussion thing, I'm sure that was scary, not just for you, but for your family. But I'm sure your dad's happy. I know your dad's a big wrestling fan. I know he loves watching you compete. I know he's very talkative in the forums and everything, talking about you and how great of a wrestler you are. And I think, I'm sure he's super excited that you made, another world team this year and that you're still going, because a lot of people thought your career was over, man. When you decided to kind of hang up the boots, I think a lot of people were upset because you were pretty young at that time. You have, so talk a little bit about, the brotherhood. We've been talking about a little bit off camera, and we've talked to, at this point, 3 of your teammates recently, and you guys are I feel like you guys are like a family. You guys make fun of each other like older brothers. You talk about each other like your brothers. So talk a little bit about, coming from Iowa State and taking that year off and then coming to Wisconsin. What was that kind of like for you, building a bond with these guys?
Yeah, so I had a great bond with the guys over at Iowa State too. Some of my best friends are still back there in Iowa. Lifelong brothers that I've made. And when I entered that transfer portal, we were all kind of upset because I was leaving, but we knew we would stay lifelong friends. And when I entered the portal and ultimately chose Wisconsin, these guys welcomed me with open arms, and I couldn't have asked for better teammates. Just as a group of guys, you couldn't want anything else. We will dog on each other. If you're going to
saw that a little bit, you gave us a little
if you're going to be able to, if you're going to be able to give it, you better be able to take it. So you have to kind of have thick skin around these guys. And, all jokes aside, we all know that we're really close and that we'll go through hell and back for each other. So, it's just a really good group of guys, and I couldn't ask for better teammates to finish out my last year.
100%, man.
It definitely seems like that, the way you guys talk, the way you guys interact. It's one big happy family over there, and it's really nice to see that in a wrestling team, because I think you guys are all rooting for each other when you get on that mat.
Yeah, of course. And, when we're on the wrestling mat, whether it's during practice or going to competitions, when it's time to wrestle, we're serious. But when it's time to just relax, we're just joking, just having fun, just talking about life and stuff like that. We try not to talk about wrestling too much because, that's what we basically do every single day as we wrestle. So we just try to get away from it. And, we do a really good job of just, sticking with each other. And, that's what you want in a team. You want 30 brothers. So I couldn't ask for a better team.
Yeah, man. And like, what are some of the go-to things you guys do when you wrestling's off your mind? You guys aren't thinking about it. What are you guys doing? You just hanging out or?
Yeah, I mean, we hang out. We have a lot of get-togethers at our house. And when weather permits, we play a lot of golf with each other. So we're not any good, but it's just something to pass the time, whether it's that fishing or whatever it is, going out on the terrace over here on the lake in Madison, just chilling, having a good time. So yeah, we just try to do anything we can to get our minds off wrestling.
Yeah, man, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and I think we've heard so many people talk about golf. And I think I think a lot of the golf companies need to start reaching out to some of you college wrestlers for some NIL, because I don't think a lot of people know, like, golf is super relaxing, but it is also competitive. So it keeps you guys in that kind of competitive mindset. But it's also like you guys are able to have fun and kind of just drive around in a golf cart on the course and kind of just have a nice relaxing day outside. But it's also like you guys are still competing with each other. I'm sure there's some little bit of smack talk when you guys are hitting the green.
Oh yeah, there is. We're always chirping each other and dogging each other, and but yeah, I mean, it's a great time. Just again, just to create more of a bond outside of wrestling. If you can create a bond outside of wrestling with a group of guys, it's something special. Just not seeing each other in the wrestling room, or whether you guys are working out and stuff like that. We try to see each other as much as we can outside of the wrestling room.
100%. And I feel like that's like how you guys have to have one of the strongest team bonds. We talk to a lot of guys from a lot of different teams, talk to their teammates, and just the way you guys talk about each other. And I feel like it's a true brotherhood, and you guys will be friends for the rest of your lives.
Oh yeah, for sure. When life goes on, when we all go our separate ways and stuff like that, there's definitely going to be a lot of wedding invites for sure,
100%.
To my teammates. So I'm excited about it.
100%.
Awesome. And I think we're just gonna get into some questions, get the fans to get to know you really more on a personal level, and just hang out here.
100%.
All right.
I'll kind of let Matt go ahead and take this over. Go ahead, Matt.
All right. Obviously your plans for the off season is gonna be, world teams, making that world team and wrestling in Pan Ams and everything. Do you have, like, once it's all said and done, do you still want to compete? Like after
Yeah,
college?
100%. Yeah. The goal is to compete until, my body starts to break down. But yeah, I think I'll have probably wrestle this, finish up this Olympic this year in the Olympic year. And then I think I have another 2 more cycles in me. So about like 8 years, I think I'll go, whether my body holds up or not. So yeah, the plan is to wrestle and get right into coaching at the college level. So hopefully I'll do a good enough job where colleges start reaching out. And, my dream college is probably just to stay here in Wisconsin, just because it's really close to family and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm sure every college is going to want, the Austin Gomez to coach for them. You've had some of the most exciting matches I can think of. And there's never a doubt when you get on the mat with someone that you can beat them.
Yep.
You're never out of the equation, no matter who it is. And that's really awesome to see.
The crazy upper body moves. I think, no matter what, if you're down a takedown with 15 seconds left, that's a lot of time for you to work something.
No, yeah.
You're one of those guys where it's like, till the clock says 0, you can't count out that you're going to sneak a quick 5-point move. And it's at that point, the match is over.
Yep.
Yeah, I live by the sword and die by the sword. So, and it's just something that I'm just not afraid to let it fly and throw everything out there. I'm going to throw something at you, and if it sticks, it sticks. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. So, I'm just going to give my competitors the best version of Austin Gomez every time we wrestle.
So was there ever a thought of like fighting or anything, or is that out of the question?
No, it's definitely out of the question. It's more of just like, yeah, I've had like concussion issues and stuff like that, but I'm just like, I don't feel like catching a foot or a knee straight to the face or the jaw. So that's just something that does not entertain me. And if I was going to fight, I'd go into boxing just because there's more money in boxing. You see these pay-per-view guys, these top boxers making like over $5 million just for a 36-minute fight, while these UFC fighters, could barely support their family, and it's more of a grueling sport. So
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of boxers. I mean, in the sport of boxing, you can kind of fight once or twice, and then you're good for the rest of your life.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. If you make it far enough to get to that point. I mean, that's obviously every boxer's dream. So yeah, you fight once or twice and basically you're set for life. So
Yeah, so no fight in the future, Austin Gomez. I kind of figured that. I mean, obviously, like you said, you've had some pretty serious concussion issues that like almost put you out of the sport. And we saw that, over the last, year or so, kind of you ditched the helmet. Was that kind of something that it came with time that you were gonna just kind of go back to the classic headgear after a while?
Well, yeah, I used to have like these two pads on my headgear, and they were really annoying to wrestle with. Like I couldn't get it tight enough, and it was just always loose getting in my face. And I would throw it off at practice, and Bono would grab it and said, "Put your damn headgear back on." And I'd have to put it on. And then they tried putting like a rugby helmet on me, and I was like, they made me back with it like once or twice. I was like, my head gets way too hot. Like I'm overheating. Like I cannot do this, right? Because when you're cutting weight and stuff, the hottest part of your body is your head. So that's why you put a stocking cap on, right? To create more sweat. And I was just sweating profusely, and it just wasn't it. And then I think I ditched it right before me and Yanni wrestled in a duel. Not this season, but the last season. I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm over with that headgear. I try to get over it, and I think I'm going to be perfectly fine." And he looked at me and he said, "All right, well, it's your body and right, it's your choice. So, just do whatever you think's best for you." And that was it. I really only had the concussion issues when I was cutting a lot of weight. And for 49, I don't cut too much weight. I weigh like 155 right now, and I'm kind of on like full feed, like eating and kind of drinking whatever I want. Obviously, staying somewhat healthy, but yeah, I mean, it was just really freaking annoying.
I bet. I had a teammate in high school that had really bad concussions issues. He ended up getting like 6 or 7 concussions in like his 4 years of high school. And he once he like wrestled a couple times with that helmet, he was just like, I'd rather just not wrestle instead of wear that helmet. Like
yeah, exactly.
It never works. It's always like you said, it's always slipping down they need to figure out some better design of the helmet headgear if it's something
it's
serious.
hard. Wrestling's a sport. Anything can happen at any time. So even like the knee braces I used to have to wear, like I'm pulling it up, it's sliding down, it's moving side to side. Like I'd rather focus on wrestling than focus on my knee brace.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly.
So, us here at Heavyweight Nation, we're some large men other than Matthew that enjoy some good food. So talk to us a little bit about after you weigh in, you step off the scale, like you mentioned, I'm sure during the season, you probably walk around 2-3 pounds over, maybe 5 at the most. So what do you kind of eat to refuel after you step off the scale?
Well, luckily for us, we have really good nutritionist. His name's Nick. He does a really good job kind of fueling, but for me, it's usually just like a peanut butter and jelly. And a bowl of fruit, and like, have you ever heard of those like honey stinger waffles? So I'll have like one of those, and like so good. And then it's basically like a cookie right after weigh-ins. So I'll eat one of those, and then like 20 minutes before my match, I'll have one of like the honey stinger gels just for like some more quick carbs and just like a lot of sugar, just to pump me up with like kind of more carbs and give me more energy. So nothing too crazy. And of course, just like lots of waters and electrolyte.
Yeah, we heard about this awesome nutritionist a lot when we talked to Trent Hilger about these protein shakes that he was drinking.
These shakes.
Yeah.
We think he was just going to Culver's and eating concrete mixers and calling them shakes.
No.
But that might be our own opinion.
No, yeah. We have a really good nutrition center. We can get like fruit, cereal, protein shakes, like yogurt, anything you could think of, they have it. And then after every workout, we can go on our phone and we can order like protein shakes, like recovery drinks. And, they got a bunch of different flavors. And right after, I usually just get mine after a lift, just to refuel after a lift. And yeah, just stick with the good old protein shake, even though I'm more of a guy that doesn't like to drink my calories. I like to eat them just for like the satisfaction that, okay, I ate, instead of, okay, I just drank a protein shake. Like that's not going to hold me over very long, because I just need that. Like I need the food in my mouth.
100%.
Yeah, and I mean, we hear there's a lot of good food around Wisconsin. We've heard about a bunch of places.
Mhm.
So,
What's your go-to? What's the best place you've eaten in Wisconsin?
I'm a big sushi guy. So whenever
love some.
I go out to eat, it's usually sushi. And so it's this place called Sequoia, and it's really freaking good.
Yeah. I don't know where Matthew just disappeared into the abyss, but we're gonna just keep rolling, man. We're just gonna keep rolling. So we have we've talked to so many guys with so many different tastes in music. So we want to know
Mm-hmm.
at the time right now, top 3 favorite songs that are out right now that you're jamming to.
Oh, I'm a big country guy, so
So
I like country a lot.
am I. Big country fan here.
Top 3 songs. That's so hard. One will have to be "The Good I'll Do" by Zach Bryan.
I'm so excited. I'm going to see him. I'm so hyped.
Yeah. I actually got one of his songs tattooed on me. And Godspeed, that's a song I have. It's basically just because there's one of the lyrics and it goes, God and my mama only know what I need. So I got that on me. So Godspeed's probably up there. And then, man, what's another song? It's so hard. We'll keep the Zach Bryan train rolling and go with Something in the Orange is a good song too. That's one song that I really like listening to.
100%. I think you post a lot about country music on your Instagram. You're not I know you're a big Sam Barber guy as well. I know he
Oh yeah, huge Sam Barber guy. I found that guy on TikTok and I was listening to stuff and then all of a sudden like 2 months later everyone starts following along and stuff like this. I'm like, why can't I just find a guy that like nobody knows of?
Yeah.
And it's just like only a select few know about him. So yeah, he's really good. I find like a lot of country artists, like when I first heard of Zach Bryan, he had like maybe 200 followers on like Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. I found all of his stuff on YouTube.
Yep, YouTube. I was gonna say, I remember
and now,
you could only listen to
and
it
now
on
he's
YouTube.
huge.
Yeah,
now he's huge.
YouTube Music was a thing, so like you had to keep your phone like on, and like if the screen went black, the music would stop, so you had to like tap the screen. Yeah, I remember Sam Barber as well. I remember following him on TikTok when he had like 10,000 followers on TikTok, and I was like, oh, like this kid's gonna blow up. And then I know
he's blowing up for sure.
Straight and Narrow, and I feel like now everybody knows Straight and Narrow, and that's like the big, Yeah,
for some reason I really like sad country music.
Me too.
I don't know 100%. What it is about it. It like
for me,
like some people like getting their feelings, but for me it makes me happy. I don't know what it is about it, but I just like love when artists like pour out their feelings into a song and stuff like that. Like it's just so satisfying to me.
Yeah. And I agree 100%. People think I'm like depressed, like when they listen to my sad, like my playlist. And I'm like, I feel like it's almost like when you make a song like that, it shows like your feelings. Like you poured out, artists poured out like their feelings into a song. So like you instantly kind of feel like this is like something that somebody actually like felt. Like this is like a real life situation that you're listening to. So super, super cool. I like that you're a big country guy. Big country music guy myself, but so we've been hearing a lot about, the Culvers, the whole Culver situation. Now, Culver situation, Culver's as good as everybody says it is? Because everyone we've talked to from Wisconsin says Culver's is like this like mythical place to go.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I always grew up. We have a bunch of them in Illinois where I grew up, but Culver's is pretty good. Usually, if I'm going to Culver's, though, I usually just get their ice cream.
On Creek Mixers. That's what Trent was talking about.
But last time I went though, I got cheese curds and ice cream, so it's really bad for me. But I definitely deserved it after like a good hard day of work, and it was like a weekend. So I was like, I can give myself this treat because I know I'm gonna burn it off the next day in my workouts. So it's really good. It's so good actually.
Yeah, we're gonna have to when we get down to Madison, we're gonna have to take a trip to Culver's, definitely.
Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna have to do that.
Yeah. So other than that kind of stuff, man, we have a few quick fire ones. Favorite wrestling shoe you have ever worn in competition? What's the go-to?
Oh, man, I think my favorite shoe of all time that I ever worn has to be the Rulon Gardners,
We
those
hear
good old Rulons. And, like Asics tried to remake them with the aggressors and stuff like that, but nothing will ever compare to how just the Rulons felt. They were so comfortable. They had really good grip. They were super durable. But yeah, it's definitely my favorite wrestling shoe.
100%. We've heard the Rulons more than any other shoe, and we always heard it was because of the side grip. That there was something about
Yeah.
the side grips on the shoes that guys that I guess wrestle like on the sides of their feet, it was perfect for that.
Yeah, it was a really great shoe. And like I tried a pair of aggressors, but it just was not the same. And I was like, I can't believe they tried to remake these.
Yeah. We heard like so many people talk about it, and then you kind of realize in your brain, like every time like a shoe comes out that everybody loves, they get rid of it. Like they just got rid of the Freaks. Like the Freaks have been around for like 7-8 years. They've been like the main shoe of college wrestling. I feel like so many teams wear the Freaks, and now all of a sudden, no Freaks anymore. We're just gonna stop making Freaks. I was like,
oh yeah,
it's a money grab situation. They increase the value of the Freaks because now everybody that has them is gonna try to sell them, and the price is going to go up.
Yeah, it's just like street shoes, when you buy them at retail price, and then you try to go buy them when you didn't get them on the drop or whatever, they're selling for $200-$300 more. So it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So another question for you here is, obviously wrestling has been like your whole persona as of late in college. But was there sports you played in high school other than just wrestle?
No, I've been wrestling. I've only been wrestling since I've been like 8 or 9 years old. I tried playing t-ball when I was younger, but I could never hit it off the tee. So I told my dad I'm over this sport. But I'm a big baseball fan. I just couldn't hit it off the tee. And then I played football when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old. And then I kept getting hurt before kind of the big tournaments, before the Tulsa kickoffs and stuff like that. My dad was like, you're done playing football. You're never going to be big enough for football. So let's just dive into this wrestling thing and take full advantage of what we can. So yeah, I've only been wrestling since I've been 8 years old.
100%. And we've heard that a lot lately. I think everybody quit their other sports freshman year of high school or middle school. But I mean, you've kind of been a wrestling guy your whole life. So another question for you that we've been asking a lot. What is your favorite trophy that you have ever won? The coolest, let's do two. We'll do the coolest trophy you ever won and the favorite trophy you've ever won.
Coolest trophy I've ever won is, those trophies they give out at the Tulsa Nationals and the kickoff classics, the big Eagles. Those are the coolest ones. Whenever we went, I basically won. I had 8 or 9 of them, and they've always broken. So I don't know where they're at now. I have no idea. My mom probably knows. They're probably in storage somewhere. But the best trophy I've ever won, it's obviously got to be my NCAA All-American. That was a big stepping stone for me after coming off basically retirement or whatever it was. So yeah, it was something that, I've always dreamed of doing. It wasn't a national title, but it'll do for now. So, the next one's go get that national title.
100%. I agree. I think that a lot of people like to say, we've heard a lot about that, or the Super 32 belts. Those were, I know, super cool for a lot of people to win, when they were in high school and stuff like that. But we have one more question, then we'll hit you with our closing question here. This might cause some issues in the Wisconsin wrestling room. Who is your favorite practice partner? You could grab one guy to go with. Who is it?
If I don't say his name, he's going to throw me under the bus and he's going to get a little butt hurt. This kid would actually cry if I don't say his name. So it will have to be our freshman 141-pounder, Felix Latini. That dude, he traveled with us all over the road, basically just to be my warm-up partner. I'm super weird and just on the way a guy feels and stuff like that. If he's got a good feel, he knows how to drill. I'm big on partners knowing how to drill. So yeah, he's definitely one of my go-to practice partners. I'll go with him probably 2 or 3 times a week. And so yeah, he's definitely my favorite practice partner. But like It's always a new freshman. So I told him that, we got a new group of freshmen coming in. You might not be my practice partner anymore. And he was just like, dude, seriously, like, come on, dude, let me be your practice partner. Like, come on, I want to travel and stuff like that. I was like, if you want to travel, you better make the lineup. That's all I had to say to him. So yeah, he's a little butthurt when I said that. So yeah, but no, he's definitely one of my favorite practice partners.
That's a good way to kind of light a fire under him. If you still want to travel with the team, you better make the lineup. I like that.
Yeah,
that's a good one. It's a good one, man. And you've answered this question before, but I think your answers might have changed a little bit from about a year or 2 years ago when we talked. You could take 3 of your Wisconsin Badger teammates with you into the zombie apocalypse. Who would they be and why?
I would have to say Felix Astini, just because he brings like good vibes and he's a pretty funny kid. He keep things light and stuff like that. But he's also a little crybaby, so we might get sick of him. Then it would have to be probably Gavin Model, just because like, I don't know, he's just like super quick to come up with kind of like solutions to things. So he'll definitely be one. And who would be the last one? Oh man, this is tough. I don't want to say. I would say Joe Zargo, but he freaks out. He would freak out for sure. I don't know. I guess we'll go with Joe, just because I would like to see how he would react in those kinds of situations.
That would be. You think that'd be entertaining for you?
I think it would be hilarious. He is so like uptight about everything. Like he's just super like tense all the time. So I try to get him to lighten up a lot, and he does. But he's a great kid. But yeah, I think I would bring him too.
It's a good answer, man. It's a good team you built there, man. And us here at Heavyweight Nation, we've kind of taken a liking to you, Wisconsin guys. You've been great company and great conversation with you guys always. So we're excited for our future bond with Wisconsin wrestling. We hope next year we'll get all you guys back on, and hopefully we get to get a good group video going here in the summer, and that'll be super exciting. So. We look forward to meeting you. We look forward to seeing what you do this summer. We know Worlds is going to be a big deal for you, and hopefully, you come home with some hardware from Worlds.
Oh yeah, the plan is to bring home a gold medal, not just any medal, a gold medal. That's what I want. So I won't be happy unless it's a gold medal.
It sounds good, man. And we're excited to see what the future holds for you, Austin. And hopefully next year, like I said, we get you back on and we can introduce you as 2024 national champ, Austin Gomez.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
100%, man. It's been another episode of the Heavyweight Nation podcast. We'll see you guys later.